to our channel. Today we have a wonderful story called Lifeboat, so enjoy. I was alone now, utterly, terribly, and desperately alone. There was no one to reach out to for help, no one to hear my grievances or to tell of some small bit of happiness. The universe had shut the door on me, and everyone was walking past, leaving me behind, stuck in time, bewildered. Somehow, I had drifted from the shore, and no one had noticed how far away I was. No matter how much waving of my arms or calling for help that I did at this point mattered. No one was going to see me. I was too far out to sea. What's worse, my life raft seemed to be losing air. I tried to paddle with my hands to maybe get close enough to the people so that I would be seen, noticed in distress, and help would be sent. But my hands couldn't keep pace with the outgoing current. I could see them, but no one appeared to see me. I had become invisible against the sea, the hazy heat obscuring anyone's view, and I wondered how much longer I could hold out against the thirst, the hunger, the heat. Worst of all, the solitude. The endless hours of solitude are a byproduct of homelessness. It can't be avoided, and no matter how many people surround you at any time, you are still alone. No one here knows you. You long for the feeling of family, where just being in the same room with your mother or father or other loved one provided a comfort that was taken for granted at the time but would now be the equivalent of a rescue ship making its way to liberate you from your solitary confinement. You find yourself sleeping as much as possible, as though by awakening from sleep, you will awaken from the nightmare, and slumber will give way to the comfortable companionship you once knew. It never works, and the sleep starts to blur the line between day and night, creating a foul state of mind that keeps you constantly confused. You lose all purpose. At some point, you will start talking to yourself just to hear a friendly voice, scolding yourself out loud, or simply narrating your day. Then you realize that the sharks circling are actually the madness, closing in to take you where no one wants to go. You go silent again, thinking that by talking to yourself, you are inviting the madness in. Maybe madness would be better than trying to keep your sanity. Maybe going completely mad will save you from this destitute feeling that seems to grow larger and darker with each passing day. Perhaps you tell yourself, if you go insane, you will no longer feel the emptiness. You won't feel the teeth of the sharks when they finally make their final assault. Is that a risk you're willing to take? Will you even be the one to make the final decision? Will you realize, even for one tiny fraction of a second, when the madness overtakes you, will you know you've gone insane?
Human beings are not meant to be this alone. Maybe a few can make their peace only by being alone. But far and away man is a social creature. That social instinct has enabled us to survive and flourish as a species. The need to socialize is as chiseled into our DNA as the need to eat and reproduce. The way we punish people for their transgressions is to remove them from their lives, to exile them, and to place them in solitary confinement. Some nations have outlawed solitary confinement as cruel and unusual punishment. Imagine that becoming life, robbed of the comfort of meaningful companionship, easy laughter that only family knows, or even the acknowledgement of being that simple eye contact with a stranger brings. Think of how it feels to know that should you pass away in the night, that no one will know. No one will come looking to see if you're doing all right, and no one will shed a tear if you aren't. You start to think you're dying alone, although you are still alive.
Loneliness is like cancer. It affects everything. Your present, your past, and your future. You want to fight on, to triumph over this terrible state of being, to be victorious. Then it starts telling you that there is nothing to fight for anymore. Winning a battle just prolongs the inevitable. The war was lost even before you got a call to arms. The memories will invade your every waking moment. Every mistake, every success, every little thing you forget to dwell on before will come to you at the oddest moments. No longer just in those times when you feel sleep overtake you. Others are the ones you've once chosen to forget. They will haunt you now, nearly tangible but just out of reach. You find yourself crying at them, as it sinks in that your life is nothing but memories now, no longer real, and you no longer reach for a better future. Even doing nothing becomes exhausting. Putting on your shoes becomes a Herculean effort. Your brave face now lost in endless, unopened letters that you don't have the energy to read. At some point, it dawned on me that the only way to keep fighting was to just give up, to reserve what little bit of me was left in case I should be seen adrift by some passing ship. One thing was certain. The person that I once had been was lost now. No rescue could save him. Perhaps he had gone to join the other memories, as they made their way past and through me, holding on to what once was. Maybe he made the only choice that made any sense and cast himself back to some happy time he knew would never be again. Whatever the case, I mourn his loss and envy his decision. He was given a choice that I no longer could have. So I laid down in my vessel and looked to the sky. I watched as the clouds slowly took the shapes of the people I once loved, who had once loved me. I couldn't help but wonder if they would be waiting to greet me at the end of this lonely road I had been forced to take. This adventure that promised nothing. Would they still love me as once they did? Now, I just hope that if the rescue ship finds me, that there is enough of me left to care, that I'm not fully engulfed in the madness that threatens to take over my soul, that I can somehow find a new life of love and color. So, I'm not sure I can hold out much longer.